Welcome back. We are in Proverbs chapter 20 today, verse 13. Verse 13 says, "Do not love sleep lest you come to poverty. Open your eyes and you will be satisfied with bread." So don't be lazy. This is not a don't be lazy passage. It doesn't mean you can't enjoy sleep when God gives it to you. It just means don't love sleep to the point where all you're doing is sleeping all day. I remember, and it comes in different phases of life, right? You need sleep a lot more when you're little. And then when you're about 5 or 6, you're like, I hate naps, I don't want to take a nap anymore. Even though your body still needs it and it benefits from it. And then as you get into the teenage years, you're definitely off of naps by then, but then you're like, you want to take naps when you go to college. You like want to nap all the time for some reason. And when you're in your early 20s, it's like naps is such a good thing, even though you've got a lot of energy and everything's great. But all you want to do at that time is sleep and play. Work is so far back in your mind, although that's what you're ready for at that age. That's what you're best at, is working. Because then as you get past your 20s into your 30s and 40s and 50s and 60s and stuff, it's all about work and there are no naps at all. And you're like, man, I wish I could take a nap. That sounds like so much fun. But I can't because I gotta work. Because working is really what we're here for. We need to work to not just to earn money to buy stuff, but we do need to earn money to be able to pay our rent or mortgage and to take care of our families. But God didn't put us here to be lazy, and we can and should be deriving pleasure from our work. But God has made us to do stuff. He put Adam and Eve in the garden before the fall. And he says, you guys are meant to tend the garden. It's work. He gave them a job. They were gardeners. And I have no idea what gardening was like in the Garden of Eden. What did they have to do? Did they water stuff? Did they prune stuff? Did they pluck stuff? Did they pull weeds? Were there weeds? I don't know. I don't think there would be because I don't know. But they had to do something to the garden. And so you should figure out what work God has you to do. For me, he's got this. Teaching the Bible. Whether I got people or not, I'm teaching the Bible. And so this is the work that God has for me. What does God has for you? Are you doing it? Because sleep is wonderful, but if you love it, if it becomes your God, if you're just trying to sleep all the time, it's easy to be lazy and not want to do anything else. And so don't do it. Verse 14 says, "It is good for nothing," cries the buyer, but then when he has gone his way, then he boasts. So this is what people do when they're bargaining. They're like, oh, it's not worth much. It's not good for anything. I'll take it off your hands for $3. And then the guy finally says, fine, you can have it for $3. And then after they buy it, they go like, hey, this is worth $6. Anyone want to buy this thing for $6, $7? It's really important. And it's lying. It's cheating. You're buying it from this guy saying it's not worth much, and then you're trying to convince somebody else it's worth a lot. It's straight out lying. God doesn't like that. So don't do that kind of stuff. Verse 15 says, "There is gold and multitude of rubies, but the lips of knowledge are a precious jewel." So would you rather have gold and rubies, or would you rather have knowledge? That's what Solomon is saying, that knowledge is actually worth more than gold and rubies. I know a lot of people would choose gold and rubies. They're like, well, I could be wise and be poor, or I could be a fool and be rich. And so they choose being a fool and rich because they think if they're rich, they could buy whatever they want. Which, they can for a time, but guess what? A fool and his money are soon parted, right? So people are going to come take advantage of you, or you're not going to save any of it. You're just going to spend it all, and it's going to be gone. You're going to buy too many rich things. And before you know it, you won't have any money left. The prodigal son did that, right? He got all of his inheritance from his father before his father died, went to a far-off country and spent it, got lots of friends because he was probably paying for everything, and then when his money ran out, he was feeding pigs. And feeding pigs, doesn't sound like a great job anyway, but for a Jewish boy, it was even worse. It was a slap to his dignity, as well as his bank account. And he was so hungry, he wished he could eat the slop that he was feeding the pigs before he came into his right mind and went home to his father and went to confess that he had sinned. So just because you're rich now doesn't mean you're going to be rich later. It's better to have understanding than riches, because when you have understanding, what you have you'll be able to keep. But if you're a fool, you're going to lose it all. God bless you and have a nice day. We'll talk to you next time.